Hi friends, today is soup day and I'm going to show you how to make one of the every Portuguese household that one of the soups that they love, and it's called Verde. So I'm going to show you how to make it, and usually most of the time you'll have all the ingredients at home. They're easy. The Verde that I grew up when I was a kid, we didn't have linguiça in it. We just had the kale, the potatoes, and none of the linguiça. When I came to the United States, then they had the linguiça. So much different, big difference, flavor, and it's so delicious. But anyway, so I'm gonna show you how I make it. And let me zoom in into my ingredients so you see what I have. In here I have the kale that I shredded real fine. You don't need no fancy equipment. I went and picked some of my baby kale so I could show you how I can do this. You buy your kale at the grocery store, you line it up, put on top of each other, and you roll it. You roll it real tight. And then, let's see if you can see, and then you just slice it as fine as you can do. You don't need, there's fancy equipment to do this. You don't need none of this. A good knife, and we'll do it. And here you'll have these little ribbons. Let's see if you can see it. And you'll get these little ribbons. And that's what I have over here. So I did that ahead of time. So my ingredients are onion, garlic, carrots. That's option. Some people put it, some people don't like it. And linguiça. And then I have mashed potatoes. These are leftover mashed potatoes from last night's dinner, and I'm gonna use it. But if you don't have leftover mashed potatoes, you can cut the potatoes, peel them, cut them, boil them, and then, or you don't even need to boil them, you can add into it and let them cook. Some people cook them ahead of time. Some people cook them in the broth already with all the flavors. That's usually what I do. And then some people use the food processor or the mixer. I use the milk. So this is a good way to make mashed potatoes and for that. But if you don't want, you can use the food processor. It'll do the same thing. So let's get started assembling this. In here I have, I already put some of my favorite pig's fat, my bacon fat. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to let this, so I put my linguiça in and I fried it just a little bit, just to render some of that fat and kind of give a little crisp to it. So cook your linguiça ahead of time. I've made a mistake of putting everything in here and then I have to fish the linguiça. So cook your linguiça. Now I'm going to add my onion. I'm going to stir this. And then I'm going to add my garlic. And let this sweat a little bit. I'm going to put some salt. About a tablespoon of salt. And I'm going to let this kind of sweat a little bit. And then I'm going to add my carrots. Okay, all this. Okay. And then I'm going to add my potatoes. I'm going to add some water. I'd say about 4 cups of water. For now, you might add more later. So let's say if you didn't have the mashed potatoes, you would add your potatoes and let them cook. And then what I wouldn't do if you didn't have the potatoes cooked, I would not put the carrots, because then you're gonna have to blend all the carrots. I would put the potatoes, cook them, and then blend everything on a blender or a food processor, and then when it's all blended, then you put your carrots. But because I had the mashed potatoes done, so I put the carrots at the same time. But if you don't have the potatoes cooked. So I'm gonna let this sit here until it comes to just a simmer, because pretty much the potatoes is kind of, they need to blend in with the water, and then I'll come back and we'll put the kale, and then I'll show you what do we do next. So be back. Okay, my friends, my pot is boiling. I had to switch pots because I figured that pot was gonna be too small, so I changed it to a bigger pot. Sometimes that happened. So now I'm gonna add all my kale. And don't be alarmed if you find that, oh my gosh, there's so much kale, and you know, like I said, I knew my other pot wouldn't fit. So you add your kale, and you stir, and at this point, if you see that you need a little bit more water, which I'm gonna add a little bit more water, and just stir everything, let this cook. I'm gonna I have here about 2 tablespoons of Portuguese olive oil. I have to use Portuguese olive oil. I don't know what it is. If you use any other olive oil, it just won't taste the same. So I let this simmer again and let the kale cook. I'm gonna put the lid on, and it's gonna be here for another maybe 10-15 minutes. In between, before I put the kale, it was about maybe 20 minutes to everything to come to a boil, and 15 minutes I would say to come to a boil. Then I put my kale. Now we'll wait until that's cooked, and then I'll come back and I'll finish it up. Okay friends, it's been about 20 minutes. I think my my kale is cooked. So now I'm gonna put a linguiça. Can't waste any of that fat, so wash the bowl. And you can see there's a lot of kale there. And at this point, you taste it for salt, see if it needs more salt. And what it does, I'm gonna put another teaspoon of salt. So in this whole pot, I only put 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm gonna put some black pepper as you taste. So if you like a lot of black pepper, put it. If not, and here I have my Caldo Verde, and this is what's gonna be for lunch. A nice, easy meal on a cold winter day. And what I like to do, I get some croutons. I make my own croutons. It's like bread, old day bread, and I don't know what to do. I crush some garlic and put some olive oil, some butter, and then brush over the bread, toast it in the oven, and I just serve it over my my Caldo Verde, or you can have French bread. So, and here you have it, Portuguese Caldo Verde. Very easy. It can feed an army, and it's very delicious and very easy to make. If you like any of these this video or any of my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or any comments, leave it there. I don't always go to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Sometimes I just don't have the time, but the YouTube usually I'm good at it. So just leave your questions and your comments there, and I appreciate all your comments, all your suggestions, and until next time, have a good day. Bye.